The Nintendo Switch is by far one of the most successful gaming consoles of all time, and it shows. I mean, the system came out 6 years ago and it still feels playable in 2023. But the Nintendo Switch has multiple problems, and honestly, it's gonna cost Nintendo in the long run. So Nintendo, if you're watching this video, please listen, because this is what all of us want when it comes to the future of the Switch and Nintendo's next console. Nintendo has always, and I'm not trying to be rude here, but they've always seemed behind the pack compared to their competitors. I mean, on the market right now, they're competing against the Xbox Series X and S and the highly successful PS5. Now, I'm not saying that the next Nintendo console has to have 4K graphics or run at 120 FPS. What I am asking for is a change in the hardware department. It feels like some of the main games on Switch are laggy, and from my experience, this is usually because of general storage issues. Like when I was playing Breath of the Wild, yes, the game felt solid and it looked absolutely beautiful, but combat? It felt super stiff. It felt like there were gaps between frames, and it's so hard to explain if you haven't experienced it. But take my word for it, it's very noticeable, especially if you own a newer console in your home. And this isn't just for Breath of the Wild. I've noticed this on a couple of the Nintendo Switch games. I never got a chance to own an OLED Switch, so I don't know how it responds to these noticeable gaps, but I'm going to imagine it's not that different. This seems to only occur due to storage issues, but it's a big problem, especially if you want to play all the available games that the system offers. I own like a day one Switch, so it may be different on other consoles, but with my experience, this is totally an issue. But that's not the only problem the Switch has with storage. Have you ever tried using the SD card slot to play off of or store? Well, my friend, you're in for a world of pain. Playing big games off the SD card is an absolute nightmare. I remember trying to play Fortnite back in the day off the SD card because my Switch storage was full. And let me tell you, I'm still traumatized by that horrible event. The game would take not 5, not 10, but 15 minutes to load up. And that wasn't even loading up the main game. That's just starting it. And a base Switch only has 64 gigabytes, and that's not fun to get around. Another thing I really dislike about the Switch is the eShop. Now listen, first of all, I don't hate the eShop. I just wish it was different. Back in the day, there was a shop on the Wii called the Wii Shop Channel. It was a well-organized shop that was easy to browse, and it was the best part about the Wii. The best thing about it, they would be directly downloaded to the console, and you would have these games forever. I mean, I still have my Wii from like 13 years ago, and all the original games from the shop are still on it. I remember as a kid just scrolling on the shop for hours and just enjoying its easy accessibility and its music. The Wii Shop Channel made the Wii one of the greatest video game consoles of all time, and I wish I could feel this way about the eShop Channel. The Wii Shop Channel felt like a nice grandpa, while the eShop Channel feels like an irresponsible, annoying teenager that just doesn't want to shut up. I mean, it's the truth. It doesn't have retro games. I mean, it does, but you have to pay for a subscription for them, which is ridiculous. But enough of bad. Let's talk about everything I love about this console's hardware. First of all, the icons on the Switch are absolutely amazing. It's easy to navigate, and it's just fun to look at. Also, when you start up the console, you get specific sounds depending on the buttons you press. This is a throwback to the GameCube, and I absolutely love that feature. It makes starting up the console a game of its own. The news feature on the Switch is also really convenient and well thought out. One of my favorite things to do on the Switch also was to hold down the record button and save some of my favorite clips. And this feature is just amazing. You can also send your favorite clips directly to your phone. And as a content creator, this was very helpful. Anyhow, I would love to talk about the games now, and I feel like enough has been said about the hardware. Nintendo Switch has some of the greatest Nintendo games of all time on its console. Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Party Superstars. That's just a couple of ones I play on a regular basis, and let me just say, I never get bored playing them. I played Mario Odyssey 7 times, and every time it feels fresh and new, and I love that about the Switch. All the main games on Switch have infinite replay value. I mean, people are still playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it came out almost 7 years ago. I really want to devote this section of the video to my favorite Switch game of all time, and that is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This game is just so well done. Fun fact about me, I was originally going to be a Super Smash Bros. Content creator before I got into anime reviews and such. I just absolutely adore this game. It's by far one of the best games on Switch in my opinion, and the way that NinTENDO kept on giving us DLC after DLC made the game feel fresh. I honestly believe that NinTENDO shouldn't even make another Smash game. They should just keep adding on to it and later on in the future, port it to new consoles. But now let's talk about the accessibility. We thought the Nintendo Switch was going to be an easy console to play with, but no, it has its difficulties. Don't get me wrong, the Nintendo Switch accessibility is absolutely amazing, but it has a small little problem, and that is its controllers. Joy-Cons are by far one of the worst controllers Nintendo has ever created. They're very poor in quality and they break super easily. The buttons are hard to press, especially if you have big hands, and the connection problems are absolutely horrific. I'll be playing Super Monkey Ball at 3 a.m. and it magically disconnects and I have to replay the entire golf course. It's crazy. I'm not even going to talk about the drift because I could go on for years about it. My brother was talking to me recently about how badly designed they are. He said that, remember the original Wii warnings with the remotes? They weren't worried about the remotes breaking. Rather, they were worried about you hitting your sibling over the head with the remote while playing Just Dance 2011 and having to take them to the hospital. In short, they're absolutely awful and they're super overpriced. Enough of my rant about accessibility. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. No matter how you look at it, the Nintendo Switch is still a great console, but it does have a lot of flaws. I honestly will continue to play this console for many years to come, and I hope you do as well. If you like this video, hit that like button down below and don't forget to subscribe to JPVGA for more review videos much like this one.